ladies and gentlemen, we're turning to the Gulf region. We're turning to the United Arab Emirates. And we already have on the line His Excellency Dr. Abdullah bin Mohammed Belhaif Al Nuaimi. Wonderful that you are with us. You've been Minister of Climate Change Environment since July this year, of course, with long-standing membership of the cabinet. So you and your ministry are actually there to drive the UAE's mitigation and adaptation efforts. Please share with us your ideas about how to come to grips with the climate crisis.
Thank you for inviting me, Connie. I was on the other end of the climate for a good 17 years at the Infrastructure Ministry of Infrastructure. And today I am here speaking to you on climate change and the impact of climate change and how COVID-19 is affecting us as well. But let me just start with my pleasure to be with you. I'm very pleased to join you this morning, and I should thank Her Royal Highness Princess Basma and the King Khalid Foundation for inviting me to participate in the F20 high-level forum. It is at such a difficult time. The G20 has a huge responsibility to support the world economies in combating the economic and the social impact of COVID-19. Really, the current situation has prompted us to examine the common features and difficulties between the outbreak and the climate crisis. Both the coronavirus has shown the whole world that failure to recognize the problem and act swiftly on it in early stage is enough for a crisis to turn into a disaster. The same, in fact, applies to climate change. But the difficulty here, the difference here, is that the COVID-19 represent one crisis, while climate change has so many consequences, each of which results in a crisis of its own and threatens millions of lives. But while the outlook is far from bright, we now have a real opportunity to really change it by ensuring the health of the planet is a priority of recovery plans. Investing, in fact, in green economy is the only way to make our recovery sustainable post-COVID-19. It makes sound economic sense and is an environmental obligation. If I come home in the United Arab Emirates, we are determined to keep up the momentum despite the slowdown caused by the outbreak. We have maintained the timeline of projects that increase the share of clean energy in the mix. In July, we awarded a contract for a 2 gigawatt solar plant in the capital, Abu Dhabi. That will be the world's largest once completed. The winning bid for the project broke the world record for the lowest solar power generation cost at about 1.35 US cents per kilowatt hour. Only this month, in August, we launched the first peaceful nuclear reactor in the Arab world. In fact, and earlier this month we completed the financing for the 5th phase of the 5 gigawatt Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum Solar Park. These milestones projects will fast-track the country's transition toward green economy and contribute to achieving our ambitious clean energy of 50% by 2050. We also seek to improve our energy efficiency by 40% by 2050. For that, we have come a long way in this area, from widely applying green building regulation and district cooling to by offering actually incentives for public to buy hybrid and electric vehicles. At present, we are finalizing the update of our nationally determined contribution under the Paris Agreement, which will soon be ready for submission to the Secretariat of the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. We aim to have one of the strongest indices in the region. Ladies and gentlemen, the world needs us to step up to work together to drive a strong, sustained and inclusive global economic recovery. G20's countries represent more than 85% of the world GDP and probably 75% of the global trade and 70% of the Earth's population. They are the leaders of the world, and they have the responsibility to lead it on a more sustainable path. And the way to do that is through supporting innovation and channeling funds to projects that are that not only address to economic growth, but also support a healthy environment. It is now more important than ever to reaffirm our commitment to implementing the Sustainable Development Goal. With your help, the world will make up for any losses and pursue innovation ways of achieving its goal of a climate safe and healthy planet. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you very much for having me, and I hope you all the best. Thank you very much.
Dr. Al Nuaimi, we thank you very, very much for your remarks, and we appreciate that you took the time. We need champions like the UAE, of course, and we know that you have to be off for your next appointment. Thank you very much for having taken the time to actually share your views and the situation as it is, and especially your ambitions and quite obviously also your passion with us today.